Okay, should be live now. And so last week talked about investing as a homestead business. Anybody have anything more to say about that topic? I came up with one thing that I didn't really stress last week. I did bring up the rule of Warren Buffett that the number one rule of investing was don't lose money, but I didn't stress the math side of that. Like if you ride the market down in a 50% drawdown, what does your remaining portfolio have to produce to get you back to zero? So it may not be intuitive, but you have to have 100% return to get you back to where you were before you had a 50% decline. Chances of you finding something to invest in that it's going to produce 100% a year, it's not very likely. Although Bitcoin has done it this year. Anyway, any other discussion about that? Not, we will go on to the news of the day. It was another wild day in the markets. Markets were broadly down today, except for a couple of exceptions. Gold was up a little bit, although at one time it was up like $80 and set an all-time record again today. And silver was up just a little bit, and the gold to silver ratio is still 90 to 1, which is really weird. One of the sectors that was up was long-term bonds. These tilt and zeros were up pretty strongly today, so they may have indeed bottomed. Wheat was down today quite a bit. The XAR military industrial complex ETF was up a little bit today in a strongly down market, so that's proves my theory that we can always count on war. So natural gas was also up pretty good today, so all the futures were up to $1.95. The cost of production is still $2.30, so I expect that one's got a ways to run. And the substitutes for investing in natural gas are SWN, Chesapeake, and LNG, ones I've been messing with. Bitcoin was up and down today, but at one time it was back to its all-time high of 69,000, and then at one time it was down to 59,000 today. So a roller coaster, and I caused that. Yesterday afternoon, late in the market, I put a small position on bits, which is a positive way of going along into Bitcoin, and sure enough, it tanked the next day. And another thing that I've used to short Bitcoin in the past is coin, and now that I don't have a position in it, which is Coinbase, that was down $12 today. And another one that you can use as a substitute for Bitcoin is MSTR. I'm trying to remember what the company, MicroStrategy. It was down $283 today. They have a pot load of Bitcoin in their treasury. So that was, of course, was a $1,200 stock when it lost $283. But anyway, that was the wild and crazies today in the market. So like everything, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So other news, we still same old, same old, same old. Texas standoff. We're on natural gas. We're on cash. We're on foods and farmers. In the Netherlands, Germany, France, India, Italy, Spain. We're on gardeners. Looked at that a couple of weeks ago. Survival Lily on YouTube. That's something that I didn't get around to getting, which is a new tool for gardeners. I'll see if I can cover that later on. War in Ukraine, Middle East wars and rumors of wars. Also, I was listening to a podcast today, and somebody brought up an interesting thing. One of the people that were like us discussing in a live podcast about different things, and they brought up that the lithium ion batteries that you have in power tools and a lot of other things, those batteries will catch fire and explode at 50 watts if that's put to them. And an EMP or a CME may produce up to 50,000 watts. So we have a pretty big fire hazard in our house, apparently. Something to think about where you might store those batteries. If you had time with a notice like in a coronal mass ejection, you might have time to get them into a Faraday cage or at least get them outside the house. I'm kind of counting on those battery powered tools if we were to not have electricity for a long time. So something to rethink maybe. Seasonal information. Still a good time to plant trees, prune trees and vines, start a garden. That's where I was going to talk about. We had some new gardener questions last week. There's a guy that's got a calendar planting guide with a sliding basically it slides in a sleeve, like a slide rule. If anybody's old enough to remember what that is, and you slide it to your last frost date, and then it tells you when to plant, all your crops basically in relation to that date. So I thought that would be handy for good and old gardeners.
Yeah, what was that called again?
I think it's I'll see if I have time to look it up here. I think it's like Clyde's garden calendar or something like that. But
Okay.
I'll see if I can have time to look it up again. It's got a little video on it at his website, and it's not very expensive, and it's free shipping if you buy 5 or 6 of them. You'll get it down to $24. But that was good.
I think I found it on Amazon for $8.
Okay.
I'll put a link in there. You can check later if you want.
Okay, that's probably it. And see if there's discounts for more of them on there. It's definitely his if that's the case. But I was thinking about buying 6 of them and saving them for stocking stuffers. But anyway, yeah, you might put it. Yeah, you already put the link in the chat. Good. So I still hopefully we'll get to butcher one more pig if we get cold enough weather. And it's a good time to order seeds and trees still. And the seeds in such places, the best deal I found for $3.25 a packet if you buy 20 plus. We had a little discussion last week about potassium iodine. various places and forums to get that. I think everybody should have that in their household. So, how about any progress anybody would like to share with us? Anybody accomplished anything that will inspire us this last week?
Oh, you had to add inspire.
No.
I sprayed some horticultural oil because I had scale on some of my fruit trees, and it wasn't supposed to rain until Wednesday, and of course it rained Monday night and Tuesday morning. So I don't know. It was on there 6 hours before it rained. We'll see.
Yeah, it is. That should be on my list up there now that you mention it. I want to complain because these weathermen are getting so bad they can't even tell you if it's going to rain tomorrow or not.
I agree. I checked right before I sprayed at like 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. I don't know, and it was all clear. And 4 to 6 hours later, I don't know, it was raining, and I checked the forecast then, and it said it was not raining, and it still wasn't going to rain until Wednesday.
Yeah, it's crazy. A little bit of well, printing, of course, is a thing that we can do now. And a little bit update on the goldbacks. I just, with gold going up as much as it has, I just checked on goldbacks, and the most expensive that I bought mine was at 378, and they're trading right now at 426. So I think that's about a 12% increase. So that's not bad. So being a store of value and a medium of exchange, especially in a black market, also goes up. Probably not as much as it's the brass and lead that I bought has, but for us, we got the new batch of critters. These chicks are hopefully, from everything I've read and studied about, maybe the best homestead chick for your place. They're called American breast chickens, and so far they've been really precocious. Like when they were 3 days old, just threw a couple of stink bugs in there, and they just tore them up. And so they've been getting stink bugs every day. We may regret that, but anyway. And today, before all of this wire was on top, only half of the tub had wire on it. There was one up walking on top of the wire, doing the high wire act. So I've been very impressed with them so far. Interesting, but they're supposed to be an excellent meat breed from France that's been in development for 600 years in that part of France, and somebody stole some eggs or something over there and smuggled them out of France, and now you can get them here. And I've been looking at them for a couple of years, but last year they were $20 a chick. I couldn't feel I could justify that, but I got these on sale for $5 a chick, and I bought 30 of them, and they sent me 40 of them, so I feel pretty good about that. And they're all living after almost a week.
They did come to the house on Wednesday, so they're over a week old. It's pretty amazing that we have that many of them surviving. Usually you have a little bit of attrition, and that's why they always send you a couple extra.
have been really, really hardy. We gotta get them out of the house soon. They make lots of poop. So what we're going to talk about today is, yes, I was inspired after Liz and my trip to the Bishop Storehouse this week, and what I saw there. But before I went down, I saw this video that I want to play tonight from a non-member who gives us some very good press. Got YouTube on your screen now.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be in the box. Marie, he's in the box. Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Somebody, come here. Somebody else wants to say hello. How you doing, honey? Thank you. Oh, Miss Olive has to say hello too. You know, she's the big baby around here. So guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome on in, honey. I have gained a ton of subscribers over the past week. So many new faces, and we're so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining our community and being part of what we're doing here at Appalachia's Homestead. My name is Patera, and it is an honor to have you here, okay? If you've been here a long time, you know as well as I do, you're going to see cats jumping up here, and there's dogs barking in the background, and there's a cow mooing out here. There's all kinds of things, but we're going to get to the meat and potatoes because I want you prepared as much as possible. I don't believe I've ever made a specific video on this, so we're going to dive right into it today because I want you to know that it is an option for you. Now, this audience, a lot of you are probably already well aware of this. You probably already have some of this already on your pantry shelf. Good on you. You're ahead of the game. But there are a lot of new faces, and a lot of people every single day have no idea that this exists. So I want to bring it to the forefront, okay? This is another form of food storage. What are you doing in there? This is another form of food storage, and it is long-term food storage. Now, we have made videos, name it. We have made tons of videos on canning. We have shown videos on gardening from here to Texas and back, seed saving, food preservation, and a lot of you do a lot of that on your own. Maybe some of you also have bought or are going to buy, hopefully soon, you better get on it, long-term food, such as like My Patriot Supply. There's tons of companies, okay? They're constantly selling things to you, right? Ignore the dogs, can't change it. This is real life. This is real home. This is real homestead. This is a real farm. This is a real kitchen, okay? So there's not a baby, but there's tons of animals. There's dogs. So here's what I want to talk about today. I don't know if you have this close to you. There are multiple facilities around the country, so you are going to have to do a little bit of homework for you. And if you find that you don't have a certain facility near you, you can order online, okay? I just got back from picking up an order yesterday because I'm actually picking up for some folks in Cherokee, North Carolina. They would have to drive over here in order to pick this up. So what I said was, I'll tell you what, the next time I swing into Knoxville for errands and they're open, I will be happy to get some for you. What do you want? Or do you care or whatever? They said, no, just get me 3 or 4 boxes to start with and we'll go from there. So that's what I did. So what I'm doing is I've opened up one of the boxes. We'll tape it back because I want to explain this to you. Now I'm going to read it because it's a lot. because around here, and don't get mad at me, I call it the LDS, just for short, Latter-day Saints. It is actually the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's a title. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's like saying Patera 10 times. So laugh with me. Don't get offended. But basically what you have is the Mormon Church, a lot of people call it, they are gurus in terms of being prepared. You can look on their website and they give you all kinds of background in terms of things to do to be more prepared. They also highly recommend that each family have at least a year's worth of food supply and preparations in case of an emergency. I'm not going to go into the history of all of this. That's not what this video is about. I want you to know that this is an option for you. I became involved with working with, quote, the cannery back in, I believe it was 2010 and 2011. I know it was because by 12 we couldn't really do what we were doing anymore. My husband and I went several times to the cannery, and you could volunteer. I was a volunteer. I'm not a member of this church, but they have always been so wonderful to us and to anybody that I've ever seen, go to them for help or anything. Such nice people, okay? And so what we would do is we would actually, there would be certain nights of the week we would go, and we actually they would teach us how to can in the cannery. So I was like I was a volunteer. I wasn't an employee. I was a volunteer. So that I would go for several hours once a week, and I would help can items, the actual foods. You'd have to wear scrubs. I mean, it was a big deal. It was one of the awesomest things I've ever been a part of, because I learned so much. But we learned how to work with long-term foods, because what it is you have these number 10 cans, and I'm going to get into all of the things that they offer and that you can buy to add to your pantry. And we would actually work with the foods. We would actually place the oxygen absorbers, and we would seal the cans. So I actually got to work with James and I both got to work with the entire process. We've been doing this a long time, right? Okay. So here in Knoxville, they have one in Deep West Knoxville. I don't know if you can go to the one in Atlanta. Like I said, you're going to have to kind of place and find out where different facilities are. It may be in your town, or it may be a couple of hours away. But what is so awesome is a lot of these items, which I'm going to read to you, most of them go up to a 30-year storage time. That's their storage life, 30 years. Some are 10, some are 20. So we're going to go over that. But I will tell you firsthand that I have seen every single one of these foods firsthand, okay, and have tasted them, and I know that they are awesome. Now, you can get onto Amazon. You can buy from Augustin Farms. You can buy from like My Patriot Supply. You can buy MREs. You can do all kinds of things. I'm just offering another solution or option for you to diversify what you've got going on. This actually could be more affordable, depending on how you do it, than a lot of the other places out there that are offering foods for you, which is my goal. I want you to have food on the shelf, food for your kids, and if push came to shove, you might have some food for your chickens, who knows. So here's what I'm talking about. Now, I will tell you that one of my favorites is definitely by far the apples. They are absolutely glorious. I would open this up, but it's not mine, so I got to put it back in the box. I'm just giving you an idea. But you can see this is a full can, number 10 can of dried apples, and they are sweet. I mean, you could honestly open it up and eat it without rehydrating it with water. So these are going to be your dried foods, okay? Apples are fantastic. The carrots are sweet. Just all kinds of options here. So what I'm going to do is quickly read to you I'll read you the items that they have, okay? Now, when you go, let's say you were to go to the facility, you can buy, if you actually show up at the facility in Knoxville, you can buy one can. You can walk in there and buy one can. You could buy 3 cans. When you get up to 6, like so, they're going to end up putting it in a box just like this. So anytime you buy 6, it ends up being a pack of 6 in a box. If you were to buy them online, and I'm going to put the link down below, what it looks like on the actual website, when you buy it in those boxes. It will be six of these per box. So if you see a price of, say, $40, you're not spending $40 for one can. You're spending $40 for 6 tin cans. It's like you'll get 6 apples, 6 onion, 6 potatoes, whatever. Does that make sense? If you don't, ask me any questions or comments you have, place them down below. But I want to let you know, if you go to the facility, you probably are going to have more of an option to pick and choose. I want 3 of these, 3 of that. You can, you don't have to go for a whole 6-pack. But if you are buying online, you probably will be buying 6. But I'm telling you right now, it is well worth the money. And you can pick and choose what you want. Now, I did not look at the shipping today. It's been a while since I've actually looked at the shipping. It used to be $3. It's probably gone up, so don't get mad at me if I'm wrong. I probably am wrong. I'm just saying, by the time you get a cheaper price on this, and they're so fair on the shipping, from what I've seen compared to other places, I'm telling you, you need to look into this. Okay, so let's go over the list real quick and we'll conclude the video. Okay, are you ready? This is important. I want you to hear this. So if you've never bought some of the things that they offer the apple slices. Y'all, they're delicious. Okay, let's rock and roll. Let's pray I don't drop my piece of paper again, right? Okay. All right, apple slices, black beans, pinto beans, your great northern white beans, carrots. They also have cocoa. Now, the cocoa has less of a time frame in terms of its shelf life. It's only 2 years. Your apples, your beans, and your beans are 30 years because they have the oxygen absorbers in there and they are sealed. Okay, 30-year shelf life. 30. Your carrots are 10 years. So I want to say that. You also have white flour. It's your all-purpose flour, but it is also 10 years. You have macaroni. It is 30 years. You have milk, which comes in actual pouches. They don't come in the cans, but they do come in pouches. That is available on the website also. At least it was there that I saw. 20 years. Then you have quick oats, regular oats, and dried onions. If you like to cook with onions, hey, they're all 30 years. They have a pancake pouch mix that's in a pouch. It's 2 years. I don't have that to show. But then you also have potato flakes, rice, spaghetti bites, white sugar, hard red wheat, and hard white wheat. They are all 30 years. So more than half of the items that you can buy, which are mostly in the tin cans, are at least 20 to 30 years, okay? Now, if you go to the facility, you can buy bags of your wheat, which is a 25-pound bag, and that is going to be your hard red wheat and your hard white wheat. They are also 30 years, okay? So you can grab those. Then they also have other things that they sell. They have like the lids that you can buy. So once you open this and you take this off, say you open it and you only use half, then you can buy the little lids. They're 25 cents. It's a plastic lid. It just seals on it so it elongates the food instead of leaving it open, okay? So I wanted to share this with you. Like I said, if you were in the East Tennessee area, I know that they get a lot of people that come up from Georgia, that come down from Kentucky, over from North Carolina, et cetera, to shop there, to pick and choose what they want to work with their budget and take it home. But you do have the online option as well. I'm going to put that link down below for you so you can shop. You know, maybe this week you can get 2 or 3 boxes. In a week or 2 or next month, whatever, you can get 2 or 3 more boxes. This is an important staple, and these are a lot of important staple items to add to your shelf life for important needs of your pantry. I think you should consider it. By the way, like I said, I am not a member of this church. I am not being paid to do this. They're not a sponsor. I just want you to know of all the options that are out there to ensure, somebody is nosy, to ensure that your pantry is full and that your family is safe. Like, subscribe, and share. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, no. No. This little thing right here is a stinker, aren't you? See? Guilty. All right, guys, I appreciate you being here.
Okay. So anyway, I just thought it'd be kind of neat to have an unbiased person given this information tonight. And I think we definitely got a good description of what's available. And by the way, I got on there yesterday or today, and shipping is still $3. I don't know how they do that. I put in
They send it out with the missionaries.
yeah, maybe so.
Put on the back of the bike.
I put I put in one case of black beans, and it was $3, and I took that out and put in 3 cases of black beans, and it was still $3, and I go, wow, that's just, as much as most people charge shipping these days, that is a real bargain. So somebody's eating a lot of cost in that. But anyway, what else was I going to say? When you actually go to Richmond, for example, which I hadn't been down there, I don't know, probably in 15 years or so. The last time I was there, we were canning these items in number 10 cans and slapping a label on them and taking them home ourselves, and taking them out of a bag to to put them in there and putting the oxygen absorbers. And of course, they don't do that anymore. But going down there, you can get just one can of, or one pouch of anything that they have, and they don't take cash or check. They only take a credit card or a debit card, Master or Visa card only. And I kidded them about making us take the mark of the beast to buy our food down there, but apparently they made the decision they don't want to handle cash, which I can understand. So be aware of that. And with shipping being so low, I guess I see that as the only reason to go down there, and the fact that you can get partial cases. You might not want 6 cans of onions if you're gonna actually use what you store and store what you use, like we should. So any other questions about it? One thing that Tammy Johnson brought up Sunday was that storing this stuff after you get the can open, or with dried food in general, or freeze dried food, that tends to absorb moisture pretty quick. Those lids don't really seal it very well, and her experience with Ziploc bags, even freezer bags, didn't keep the moisture out here in the humid East. So I wanted to bring up an idea that you could use. You can see this is a lid lifter, not your typical one, but has a very wide base on it, so you can take lids off of a jar without damaging them, a canning jar. And then you can reuse them many times with one of these, which some of you may have laying around. This is a Food Saver vacuum sealer to go on a mason jar. This is the largemouth. You can get them in smallmouth and largemouth. I think they're about $12 or so. And if you already have a Food Saver laying around that you're not using, this would be a way to store the contents of that can that you're going to use over a period of a year in a quart or half-gallon mason jar. And you can pry the lid off with with one of these, which costs about $6, and take your cup of ingredients out of it, and then vacuum it back on, set it back on the shelf, and good for another month, whatever. So anyway, that's something that I think might be useful to some people for various dry items that they want to store, and store it under a vacuum, pretty well sealed. So anybody used one of those or have access to one? Nope. I think they sell them at Walmart. I think I've seen them there, but readily available online, of course. Seems like we haven't used our food saver much in the last 5 or 10 years. We used to use it a lot, but not much anymore. Also, would there be any interest in getting a truckload order in from the Richmond facility? We go back down there again.
We're talking a pickup truck, not a big 18-wheeler truck.
Which would allow you to order in one can increments.
Potentially, yes.
Mm,
Maybe pass around well, yeah. I think I'll raise my hand, potentially, yes.
Okay. We've got a lot of that stuff, but we're not. Most of it is probably 15 years old or so, at least 10 years. We're not eating a lot of high carb stuff nowadays, so it's definitely there for long-term storage, it seems like. Things got to the worst, we would certainly eat it. I think other than the garden calendar planner from Clyde, I think that's all I've got tonight, unless anybody else has anything they want to discuss. Make it kind of short tonight. I'll say good night then.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.